this course. We'll do it the math modeling way, the quadratic modeling way. Okay, it says I have this rectangle shown. It's 100 and the area is 105 meters squared. It says find the value of x and the dimensions of the rectangle. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is write down the area of the formula for area of a rectangle. What is it? Area of a rectangle equals length times width, right? Or your geometry teachers use base times height. Oops, I'm sorry about writing cursive. I know you guys don't know that too well. All right, so I'm going to call one of the sides my length. So this is my length. This is my width. So I have, let's see, my length is 2x plus 1 times my width, which is x. And they gave us the area in this problem, so 105. Okay, go ahead, find x. Yeah, photomat. I know you. I knew that's exactly what I. Even before. Oh, here we go. All right, so I got 105. I'm going to have to do what to the x. I have an x outside of parentheses. I have to distribute, right? What? What? I know it's easy.
Still trying to finish my coffee.
I know. I just it's way too early in the morning for this. I should have told a story or something. All right, so 2x times x is 2x squared. Let's see, positive 1 times x is positive x. And that's a quadratic. In order to solve a quadratic, I got to have a 0 on one side, right? So I'm going to subtract the 105 from both sides so that I get a 0 on this side. So 0 equals 2x squared plus x minus 105. Now, here's where I said there's all different ways to solve this. Personally, I would factor this because factoring is kind of my specialty here. I could probably factor that in my head. You could also notice that it's in standard form. So with now that it's set to 0, you could put this in the quadratic formula, right? But we've been having so much fun with our calculators with the quadratic modeling. Let's put it in our calculators. We know it's a parabola, right? So we can find the x, okay? We can find the x, and that's the x-intercept, where y equals 0. Okay, so let's, again, when you have your calculators, and I was talking about this with the teacher that teaches the stats in this class, make sure you zero out everything, clear everything out. Go to your y equals key. Make sure all the plots are off. Okay, even clear out any previous equation that we put in there. If you have a plot on, it'll be highlighted. See how that's highlighted? You got to make sure those are off. So all you do is put your cursor on it and hit the enter button. Turns them on and off. Okay, then I'm going to go to my zoom key and I'm going to go to the standard, or you could hit just number 6 on the keypad. Make sure my graph is back to default -10 to 10, -10 to 10. Okay. All right, so now I'm ready to put my quadratic equation in there. So I'm going to go to my y equals, put in my 2x squared, let's see, plus x minus 105. And I'm going to hit graph. And this should be pretty big parabola. Yep. Now, I could mess with the windows um, and get the whole parabola on here, but there's only really 2 points I'm interested in. And that's when I have an x value and a y value is zero, or in other words, the two intercept points, right, where it crosses the x-axis. So this one, I actually can see those intercept points. I'm not going to mess with the window. I don't need the whole parabola on there. In fact, I'm not even going to worry about this x-intercept because that x is negative, right? And I can't have a negative dimension. I can't have, and a lot of our problems that we're going to be doing later, we're not going to be dealing with a negative data. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Do I really need um, the negative x-intercept? So I'm looking at this point. I need to find that point. Now, this one, we could cheat, really, because it looks like it's crossing at a whole number. So I'm going to go to my chart, my t-chart here, hit second graph, and I'm going to look for that y value of 0, and maybe I'll just get lucky enough that it'll give me that. Well, there it is. When I have a y value of 0, my x-intercept is going to be 7. So my x is 7. Now, 9 times out of 10, it's not that easy, right? Because that intercept is going to be between 2 points, and we're not going to get that easy y equals 0 thing on our chart. So the way you would have to do it is hit the second trace, and I think this is on that little blue card I gave you, right? The note card. And then I'm going to highlight number 2, 0, or press number 2 on your keypad. And it's going to ask me, are you to the left of that point? Well, because I didn't fit my whole parabola in the window, my cursor is off the screen somewhere, but I know where it's at. Okay. My cursor is at x equals 0. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. See where it says x equals 0? That's where my cursor is right now. So my cursor is when x equals 0, right there at the origin, which means my cursor is way down here in the parabola. Okay, I want to get that x closer to the 7 because I know that x-intercept is 7. Okay, so I need that to be closer to 7 to see my cursor. So all I'm going to do is use my right arrow key, see how the x, every time I hit the key, the x is going up. I want to get it close to 7, and I'll see my cursor. Well, there it is. I just passed it. Okay. So I want to be to the left of that point, which I am. It's asking me for the left bound, so I'm going to hit enter. And then I need to get to the right of it, so I'm going to have to go above the line to be to the right of it, and hit enter, and then hit enter again, and lo and behold, there's my x-intercept, 7. And again, if you get like some weird number for y other than 0, like 0.21 to the e to the negative 8, it's 0 because your calculator is actually trying to get a point very close to 0. But whenever you get that scientific notation with e to the negative whatever, consider it 0. So my x is 7. I'm not done yet because it's asking for the dimensions, right? So the dimensions, my width is easy. It's just x, so it's just 7, and I think we're in meters, right? My length, I have to compute, so I have 2 times my x, which is 7, plus 1. So my length is 15 meters. And that, my friends, is the end of notes for quadratic modeling. And I bet you're so excited about it that you want the practice work pages.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you would be.